Hello my friends, this is Richard, this is Games Freezer. We are back over on the PC today. We're playing a game called Rosewater, which is a point and click adventure game. I've never played it before, it's the point of the 10-minute taster. I play a game I've never played before, give you some first impressions. Just looking at the Steam page, it's got some really positive reviews and looks right up my street, and the art style looks lovely, so an absolutely fantastic start. So let's start pointing, let's start clicking, and let's click on new game now, see where we get to.
Boarded the 743 from Pierre-Lorraine for Rosewater, Western Vespuccia. No baggage to speak of, in the literal or metaphorical sense. Just a little hope. And that doesn't take up much space.
Loving the voice acting already. Just draws you in, doesn't it? Makes a massive difference with point and click adventures when you've got good voice acting.
Much has been said about the Western frontier. The perilous wilderness, the lawless towns, and the tough, hardened folk who make their way out there. Usually to get away from something worse. I suppose I'm about to become one of them myself. There's just one thing Rosewater's got that no place else has. An opportunity with my name on it.
Yeah, I'm putting aside some time at some point to finally play some more point and click adventures. It used to be one of my favourite genres, but just don't seem to have the time anymore.
The thoughts in my head are running together like the landscape outside the window. Excitement and trepidation and boredom mixing like the scrub and rocks and soil into one long blur. One thing I know, I am ready for a change of scene.
Right, so here we go. Western Vespuccia, the town of Rosewater.
Huh. Quiet.
Howdy, ma'am. Allow me to extend the warmest of welcomes on behalf of the town of Rosewater and its inhabitants. Folks call me Jem. And who do I have the honor of greeting?
Harley Leger.
Delighted to make your acquaintance. Might I assist you with your luggage? That is, if you've got any.
I don't.
Ah, right. Well, what brings you to our fair town, Mrs. Leger?
Here we go, we're in. I'm going to lie my way through all of this. Lie, I'm just passing
Miss.
through.
And I'm just passing through.
Yeah, that's pretty much everybody's story. If they come here at all, things keep going this way and I'll be out of a job soon.
What job? Annoying people? Yeah, go on then.
And what job is that? Official town pain in the neck?
Jeez, lady, did a snake bite you where the sun don't shine? I'm the town greeter. Figured that much was obvious.
Uh-huh. Look, I have an appointment to keep, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, sure. Don't stick around on my account. But a small caution. Rosewater ain't always such a sleepy little town.
Hey!
Say, I've just remembered another engagement.
This how you welcome new arrivals? I have a mind to give you a thrashing. All right, enough of that. Look, I was no choir girl.
But I never got caught. But I never cried as much as you. But I was never quite so dumb. But I never cried so much as you.
But I didn't start blubbering when things went south. Word of advice, kid. Don't pick your mark in broad daylight, especially not at a lawman's doorstep. Go on, beat it, or I really will give you something to cry about.
Yeah, I'm going through my mean era.
Now, where in the ether is that damn publisher's office?
Okay, walk. Interact is left click. Double click to skip walking. Double click to skip walking. Inventory, right click or I. Menu, escape. Show objects, hold O or the middle mouse button. Okay. Let's hold O. Ah, cool.
End of the line. Until they connect it up from the coast, anyway. So they do have the law here. In theory, at least.
Right, shall I go in here? Can I talk to this guy? No, I can't talk to him. He's just passing through. Let's go in the sheriff's office and see what's going on.
Howdy, stranger. Fresh off the train?
Yes, sir.
Come on in then. Let's have a chat. I'm Sheriff Gamble.
Harley Leger.
Pleasure. Just passing through, or...
I'm here about a job.
Well now, that's refreshing. Few come to Rosewater these days with the intent of staying long. How are you finding our town?
The welcoming committee leaves a lot to be desired. Frankly, it sucks. Right, mean era.
Truth be told, it isn't worth a fart in a whirlwind.
Oh, well, everybody has a right to their opinion. It ain't New Britannia or El Presidio, but Rosewater's got its fair share of charm. And again, a train station's just across the way. Nobody's keeping you here.
Cheers, Sheriff. Right, let's have a little look around. Oh, I can look at a lot of things here. Right, wanted. Look at.
Looks like a pretty rough sort. Is this fellow still at large?
Yep, but I reckon he's left the province.
Reminder, confiscated items to be placed in the box below. A lawman with a license? Guess Rosewater isn't so uncivilized after all. Does this license mean you went to sheriff's school?
No, it means I was officially elected to the position by the people of this town. The paper is really just a formality.
I wouldn't have figured the sheriff for a naturalist. Fancy yourself a lepidopterist?
Ha! Hardly. Picked that display up from a passing rag and bone man. But I like when the sun shines on their wings just so. Real thing of beauty.
What's that?
What a peculiar decoration.
It's for luck, right?
Hey, Sheriff?
Ma'am?
Why have you got a horseshoe hanging above the door?
Ah, glad you asked. My grandpappy told me a story about a blacksmith who was visited by the devil. The devil asked the smith to make him a horseshoe for his own hoofed feet, you see. So, the blacksmith took a red-hot horseshoe and nailed it straight onto one of his hooves. The devil howled out in pain. He begged the blacksmith to take it off again. The smith agreed, but on one condition. The devil must always respect the horseshoe and never enter any place where one is hung above the door. Hell of a story, wouldn't you say?
Cracking story.
Impressive collection.
Oh, didn't want to go out there. I wanted to ask about the guns. But there you go. Right, let's go. Can I go any other way? I can only go down the road. So let's go down the road.
I hope that isn't the town water supply.
So when my cursor goes gold with those 3 dots, I can do something. Look at.
Looks sturdy, but there's some rot creeping around the handles. This padlock's not going anywhere. Not without encouragement.
Okay, so that's the blacksmith.
Can't be a good sign when even the blacksmith goes out of business. No shoes for you, horsies. Soft drink crates. A sugary, fizzy way to beat the heat. Nothing inside but a colony of ants. Shame.
I
I could go for a sarsaparilla. The local sawbones. This is where all the sharp knives and strong drugs will be kept.
Should I go and visit him? Yeah.
Oh, hello there. Don't think I've seen you around before.
Just arrived in town. Name's Harley Leger. And you're Dr. Sedgwick?
At your service. Welcome to Rosewater and to my clinic. Anything in particular ailing you today?
Got anything to drink? It's hot out there. I've just got this blister on my foot. Yeah, let's say that.
Now that you mention it, I've got this blister on my right foot that's got me in a huff.
I can take care of that for you. Step over to the chair and I'll cut it off in a jiff. They do tend to be gushers, though, so it might be a while before you're up and about again.
On second thought, I'll just deal with it.
Oh, the frontier life has its fair share of discomforts, to be sure. They do say that suffering is good for the soul.
For the soul? Is that a pun, Doctor?
Huh? Oh, I see. For the soul. Most humorous.
Right, so let's have a look in his spittoon.
That's impressively clean.
Cleanliness is next to godliness, as they say, and good health starts with good hygiene.
Okay, so a little looky up here.
Quite a variety of potions and tonics you've got here, Doc.
It's only a small part of the bounteous pharmacopoeia that nature might make available to us, if only we knew her secrets. There is so much to be discovered.
Medical College of Wicks? Never heard of it.
It's in central Rotterdam. Not quite the University of New Britannia, but then what is?
Fair point, mate.
I imagine you get your hands pretty dirty in this line of work?
It's for cleansing before, not after. I am a follower of the modern European theories, positing that disease follows from the propagation of tiny animalcules living on the surface of the skin. Thorough washing with soap and water is said to eradicate them.
Drown the little bastards, huh?
Something like that.
Well, that's just disgusting.
Not disgusting, it's fascinating, awe-inspiring.
To each his own.
So I can look at that as well. What's that?
What's in the pouch?
Oh, just some supplies for house calls and emergencies.
Yoink.
Please, don't touch that, Miss Leger. Please, don't touch that, Miss Leger.
Okay. I thought you might come out with something else.
Hey, Doc.
Miss Leger.
What can you tell
Got
me about
any
Rosewater?
knowledge to impart about Rosewater?
Oh, well, it's a fine town.
You don't sound too enthused.
I'm sure you'll find plenty to see and do here.
Give it to me straight, Doc. I want to know your thoughts on this place. Warts and all.
Were Rosewater one of my patients, I would say the prognosis is not good. Not since all the Aurum claims dried up and the airship routes opened, leapfrogging over our rail line. The hangers-on keep this place gasping for breath, but I fear they only prolong the inevitable. I hope I haven't discouraged you, but you did ask my opinion.
What do you know about other townsfolk?
You must know all about the townsfolk.
I am well acquainted with all their ailments, proclivities, and vices. But if you're just seeking gossip, you'll have to find it elsewhere.
So, how's the medicine business?
What a question! I'm a physician, Miss Leger, not some two-bit snake oil salesman.
Didn't mean to imply you were.
I'm sure. At any rate, I've not had many patients of late. But that is the physician's dilemma, is it not? We are taught that idleness is a sin. But better that I am idle and the townsfolk healthy than my surgery be full of the ill and infirm.
If things are so bad, why not pick up and move elsewhere?
I swore an oath to do no harm, Miss Leger. As the town's only physician, leaving would mean abandoning my patients. There may not be many left to call on my services, but when they do, I am the only barrier standing between them and the grave.
Isn't that a bit dramatic, Doc?
Say what you will. I know where I stand on the matter.
Can't you get someone to take your place?
Why not train somebody to take over for you?
I did have an apprentice not long ago, my ward, Nadine.
What happened to her?
Oh, this is no kind of life for a restless young person. I encouraged her to put her talents to use elsewhere. She's ministering to the local native tribe now.
Tell
Who
me
is this
about
tribe?
I'm afraid I don't know much about them, just that they have a small village somewhere in the valley. I believe they call themselves the Audam? Autumn? I'm not certain of the pronunciation. At any rate, they don't come to the town, and I imagine the townsfolk mostly let them be as well.
I'll see you later, Doc.
Do take care of yourself.
Right, this is my inventory.
October 25th, 1850. Dear Miss Leger, thank you for submitting your sample. Your writing shows real potential. I'd like to extend an invitation to meet with me at the offices of the Rosewater Post and discuss the possibility of an extended commission. How soon can you arrive in town? I await your reply and look forward to making your acquaintance. Yours, Joan Gallagher.
There you go. And is there a map? No, I don't think there was. Right, okay, let's go. Miss Leger, onwards and upwards. Here we go, that's where we need to be going. Let's head in here and have a look. Anything I can look at before I go in?
This is the place.
Sure is. Oh! Jeez. You almost landed on me. You're alright. Ignore him and enter off the office. Ignore him. Mean phase. Era. Phase. Whatever.
Hello, can I help you with something?
I'm here about the writing commission.
Ah, yes, you must be Miss Leger. I believe you and Joni exchanged some correspondence on the matter already, yes?
Yep, got the letter right here.
May I see it, please? Very good. Oh, one more thing. Joni's not one for formalities. First names will do.
Noted.
Go up those stairs and knock.
Thanks. What's your name?
Henry Dixon, ma'am. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise.
There we go. Right, should I have a little look? Let's see what we've got.
Cozy.
Let's go up the stairs.
Come in.
Hello, Joan. I'm Harley Leger.
Ah, yes. Nice to finally put a face to the name. Please take a load off. Whiskey?
Bit early for me, but thanks all the same.
Sensible. I like that. I, however, have had a morning, so if you don't mind. Say, have we met before? Something about you seems familiar.
I don't believe so, no.
Well, let's get down to the meat and potatoes, shall we? If you're going to join our little family here, I'd like to know more about you.
Give a life story, provide a succinct biography, avoid the question. Mean era.
With all
avoid
due
the
respect,
question.
I prefer to let my writing speak for itself.
Fair enough. Speaking of, your writing sample had me in stitches. I haven't spent much time in Lamplight City myself, but your descriptions of the Toffs in Lyon. Hilarious.
That piece was inspired by my last visit a few years ago, actually.
Oh? What brought that about?
Truth, I had to take care of some family matters. I hadn't been in a while. Nothing important. What am I gonna go with?
I had to go back and settle my late brother's affairs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope it wasn't in connection with that awful business at the Lamplight City Expo.
Oh, no, it was before that.
The Expo disaster was a national tragedy, of course. But you know, I can't help remembering it as the week our paper sold more copies than it has before or since. Isn't that terrible? But enough about that. Let's get back to why we're here. I loved your sample, and I like you as well, Harley. So I'm going to go ahead and offer you a commission. I'll pay you 45 crowns for it. After that, we can talk about more regular opportunities.
Hot damn.
Hot damn. So, what's my assignment? A scathing commentary on Rosewater's decline? Or maybe a hard-hitting expose on the plight of the marginalized criminal youth?
Oh, no. Nothing like that. I want you to interview Gentleman Jake Ackerman.
Who?
Pull the other one. You've been living under a rock. He's a true Western legend. The Achilles of our times. We've got a real opportunity here. Star like that landing in our little town. I'd like something in the vein of your sample. Acerbic and mordant. But maybe not quite so acerbic.
So, a puff piece.
Good, you're paying attention. I want you to make Rosewater look good too. Show me a real frontier hero in a real frontier town.
Where can I find this Jake fellow?
He's taking rooms at the Jack of Diamonds just down the road. And his show is opening today at the Opera House. So he should be around for an interview. I don't know how you're situated here, but you're welcome to use the typewriter in the office.
I only write longhand, but I'd certainly be grateful for a quiet place to work.
Longhand. How charming. Now, if you have any questions before you go, by all means, ask.
Who was that man that went out your window? You said the Rosewater Post covered the Lamplight City Expo. What can you tell me about Rosewater? Can't I write about something else?
I don't want to seem ungrateful, but couldn't I write about something else? My style's more observational than, talking to people. I don't know that that's really my strong suit.
We're talking, aren't we? If you want to write for this paper, you're simply going to have to stretch yourself beyond what you might be accustomed to. Besides, it's not as if you have to say anything particularly brilliant. Just get your subject talking and take notes. Finish this assignment, and maybe the next one will be more to your liking.
Right, so who was that man that went out your window?
So, who was the man that went out your window? Not another writer, I hope.
Oh, God, no. You're the only applicant we've had. Don't worry about him. Just a rabble-rouser with an axe to grind. Thought he could burst in here railing about my journalistic integrity. Most folks stick to writing letters to the editor. I tried to calm him down, but... well, it didn't go that way.
I see.
Just sitting there with a broken window. Not even doing anything about it. Like it. Right, I'll ask this
The
about
Rosewater
Lamplight
Post
City.
reported on the Lamplight City Expo?
It was only the biggest story that year. I've still got copies of the article saved. Here, read it for yourself.
Cool. Disaster at Lamplight City Expo. The etheric pavilion at the Global Exposition in New Britannia, Kingsland, was the site of a terrifying disaster that claimed 15 lives on Saturday during a demonstration by aetheric researcher Dr. Bennett Clark. A device known as an aetheric generator malfunctioned and released a burst of energy into the audience, instantly vaporizing 14 attendees and one stage assistant. An eyewitness described the scene for the New Britannia Gazette. The thing started up with a great crackling noise, startling the ladies in attendance and raising several cries of excitement. In the next instant there was a blinding flash of light. After that was just screams and a horrible burning smell. From where I stood, I could see that a bunch of folks gathered to one side of the apparatus were just gone. All that was left were shoes and hats and things in a pile of ash. The worst thing was their shadows were still there on the wall behind. Yikes. There you go. Right, okay.
Can I keep this?
Frame it if you like.
What can I...
I'd best be on my way.
Right you are. Wait a minute.
What?
It's just come to me. I know why you look familiar. You're Spitfire Harley.
Goodness. It's been a long time since anyone called me that.
I saw you fighting back in 26 at Wellesley Hall in the Chum. You took out a brute twice your size with a right hook. Pow! It was like watching David bring down Goliath.
I appreciate the kind words, but that was another life.
Maybe so, but for a 14-year-old kid fresh off the boat, it was pretty damn inspirational.
Thanks, Joan. Appreciate it.
Of course. And please call me Joni.
Okay, diary updated. How do I get to my diary? Diary, yeah. D. D for diary. Warded lock, no key for me. Turn the hook freely. Padlocks wiggle the key to start the fun. Then take the snake for a long, long run. Deadbolts, tense the key and choose the snake. Look around as you give it a shake. Tumbler locks, the key stays still. The diamond shines, turns up just once, then down 3 times. Pulled the WV Express, boarded the 743. Oh, okay, so it's like a diary there. Dusty streets of Rosewater. The offices of the Rosewater Post. Must have been 15 years since I boxed under that moniker back in Chum, but believe it or not, Joni was there to see it. And moreover, remembered me. I suppose I made an impression somehow, not only in some poor bastard's face with my fists, but I got what I came here for. The arrangement is not yet permanent, but I have my first assignment. I am to conduct an interview with an entertainer called Gentleman Jake Ackerman, who is performing locally and writing an article showing him and the town in a flattering light, a puff piece to put it plain. The show's at the Opera House and he is to be found in the Jack of Diamonds saloon. Okay. Right, let's go. Can I go out the window?
I hope fixing that window won't be too expensive.
I may just leave it for a while. I'm enjoying the breeze.
You support Leroy?
I'm a proud Labourite, sure. I'll admit he hasn't been my favourite PM. But the way things were going with Atwood and the Traitus, this place would have been swallowed up by an automated newspaper conglomerate. Labour Party gets me vote any day of the week.
Fair enough. See you later, Joni.
Take care of yourself out there. Spitfire
Right.
Harley, writing for my paper. Now don't that just beat all?
Let's go and find this Jake Ackerman. Morning.
Was your
Jack of
meeting
Diamonds.
satisfactory, ma'am?
Quite so. Did you find any of those butterscotch sweets I asked for?
Afraid not. Only taffy and some peppermints.
Pity. This place seems to lack even the smallest of pleasures. Shall we?
Shabby, but I've been to worse.
Wonder if I'm gonna need to dust off my fists.
These seem to be for decoration more than anything else. Food delivery for the lazy. Warning! Watch the dang door. Signed, Management. Now that is mighty tempting.
Of course I'm pressing it. Okay.
Someone's hunting trophy.
Let's have a chat to this dude.
Excuse me, kid. I need to get upstairs.
I'm really sorry, miss, but Mr. Ackerman's not taking any more meetings right now.
I'm here on behalf of the Rosewater Post.
Did you make an appointment?
No, I just got the assignment.
Okay, look, Mr. Ackerman's upstairs getting ready for his show. It starts in less than an hour. Why don't you come by and watch? You can come meet him afterwards.
I just need to interview him for a newspaper article.
Well, now, that's perfect. If you're going to write about him, you should definitely see the show. Trust me, he's a real dazzler.
Suppose it beats waiting around here.
So, right, okay, let's have a look over here.
The local populace getting sloshed.
Okay, what else can I look at?
Scenes from the wild country. A night campfire, a wild horse, and a bear in the mountains. Sure would be something to see all that up close and personal. Except maybe the bear.
Gentleman Jake's show will be starting at the theater soon. You won't want to miss a second of it.
Okay, right, let's go to the theatre. Let's have a look at the Undertaker.
Business seems slow today. Probably a good thing.
Can only look. Can I walk to there? Is that the theatre? Yes, it is. Gentleman Jake's Wild West. 2 weeks only. All seats. 20p. Thrills, excitement. Gun.
20 coppers. It had better be one hell of a show.
Oh, what's this? Okay, so this is a shortcut. 20 crowns. Okay.
You again?
Oh, hey, Harmony, was it?
Harley. What in the aether are you doing here?
Oh, you're not still sore about earlier.
Yes,
You
I
bet your
am.
scrawny ass I am.
Look, nothing personal. My brother and me are just doing our best to get by.
You just walked away when your brother got caught. You've got good self-preservation instincts.
Your brother? And you just strolled away? I ought to knock you into a cocked hat.
Anyone ever tell you got a real mean streak, lady?
You picked the wrong mark, but I can let that go. Hell, with a little effort, you two could be halfway decent grifters. But if there's one thing turns my stomach, it's disloyalty. That's your flesh and blood. If you don't have your own brothers back, who else on this wretched earth is going to give a fuck if you're alive or dead?
You made your point. Now can we drop it already? I'm trying to do an actual legitimate job here.
Legitimate job? So you're not selling snake oil or stock tips or fire insurance?
Nah, nothing like that. I'm selling tickets to Gentleman Jake's legendary Wild West show. Only 20 coppers.
I want to buy a ticket to the show.
I'll take one of those tickets.
Swell! And when would you like to come see the show?
Whenever it starts?
Oh, you mean today? Oh, well, I'm afraid I gotta disappoint you there. Sold the last of today's tickets not 10 minutes before you walked up.
Seriously?
Seriously, this ain't exactly the Coliseum. It only fits so many, and folks around here are real excited to see Gentleman Jake in person.
All right, look. I don't need to see some yahoo firing off his pea shooter. I just want to talk to this Jake fellow.
And I'm sure Gentleman Jake would be happy to meet you if you had a ticket to get in. Course, I might be able to sneak you in quiet-like, but I'd be putting my job on the line, and I can't afford to lose it now. After all, I have my little brother to look after.
Just tell me what you want.
Only a small favor.
Spit it out.
Just help me retrieve something. A small item of great personal value. It's only my pa's pocket watch. Family heirloom, you see.
What happened to it?
It was stolen is what? By that one-eyed scalawag Lola Johnson. Probably stashed it away in the old smithy. She's been squatting in there for weeks now.
Offer a bribe. How about 2 crowns and we forget all this favour nonsense? Where's your brother now? This sounds like a matter for the law. I'll do it, but only to get in. I'm not doing you any favours. Let me in or else. The blacksmith shop is locked up. Oh, I see. She's in the blacksmith shop. Let's answer with
the
that.
Blacksmith's got a giant padlock on the door.
So?
So I'm not breaking into private property?
I told you the place is abandoned. Lola's squatting in there. Besides, it's not really breaking in if you're retrieving something stolen. Sheriff Gamble won't trouble himself over it, trust me. And if you run into Lola, I'm sure someone like you can handle her.
Let's offer the bribe.
You said you and your brother needed money. How about 2 crowns?
Well now, that's mighty kind of you. But this don't change the deal.
Why, you little bastard.
You want in, you gotta do me that favor.
Yeah, fuck her. I'll beat him up. Okay, let's do it.
You can go hang for all I care. But I want in this theater. So I'll do it.
Swell. You know where to find me.
I don't like him. He's getting on my nerves. Right, okay, so onwards and upwards.
Betrayal, murder, revenge, classic stuff. Never works out that way in real life.
Anyway, we've come to the end of the 10-minute taster. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please ensure that you press like and subscribe to the channel. Really helps us get new games into the Games Freezer to take a look at just for you guys. I've really enjoyed playing this one. Feels cool. I want to get involved in Rosewater, see what's going on. So yeah, it's going to be one of those games that I'll play over the next few weeks. Like I say, if you've enjoyed it, please ensure you subscribe, you like the channel, that helps us. Also head over to Twitter, head over to Instagram, and that's @GamesFreezer. Head over to TikTok and take a look at us there, and that's The Games Freezer. Also head over to our wonderful website that's been there for over a decade, and that's www.gamesfreezer.co.uk.
There's some rot creeping around the handles.
Plenty of gaming goodness to look around at there. So my friends, until next time, you'll be leaving me staring at this lock.
Looks sturdy, but there's some rot
trying to
creeping around
work
the
out
handles.
how I'm going to get into the smithy. Goodbye, my friends.